I'll go through the example and then get into the code because it's really cool stuff. And since about half of you have already done some air stuff, it should be pretty familiar. This is so exciting, I have to stand up for this one. So the Air app just launched, and essentially what you see here is I can select, my contacts got loaded, and I can see the photo. But what if I want to change the photo or add a photo to that contact and I don't have a photo for them yet? I can go into my Ribbit spawn, and I have an image here which is the spawn logo. It's a JPEG. So check this out. You can drag it onto the Air app and it replaces that image, and then I can upload that and save it. So it's just a cool sample. I mean, the chances, it's probably 1 in whatever that you'll actually add this, but it's there. The code sample is there for you to do. Maybe you'll learn this, and I think it's pretty cool, very, very valuable. Save a contact photo, and I can also remove it. Pretty simple. Let's take a look at the code for this one. Has anybody seen that kind of thing before? With the images, drag and drop? It's pretty sweet. I don't know if we'll be doing that in Flash Player anytime soon, but it would be kind of cool to be able to do that. But I guess with the browser, there's some security implications. So essentially what's happening is with a Flex app, as you probably know, you have application tags. With Air, it's windowed application. Namespace is the same. Everything's pretty much the same. The width and height definition of this app ends up being what it resolves to on your screen. And then, of course, everything else is the same. I mean, this is all the same stuff you'd see in your regular Flex app, except we're compiling it as an Air app. For the Air stuff related to the images and the drag and drop, we have an on-dragon event. It sounds like I said on-dragon. Drag in, and then there's a native drag event, and that's going to come in, allow us to access the native drag manager and accept the drop. These are Air-specific things. They're not Ribbit things. It just helps us facilitate this example. And then here's where we're actually taking the image information and uploading it and resolving it. If there's an extension, if it's other than JPEG or GIF, if I tried to drag a PNG or a bitmap there, BMP or another kind of TIFF, we have a little alert here that would say we don't accept it. But I think one of the cool examples that I'd like to see this evolve into is if you've downloaded your contacts or exported them from Outlook and you want to upload them into Ribbit, and say it's in a CSV or Excel file, to be able to drag that on and have that logic parse out your contacts and then loop through it and upload it into Ribbit. That would be a cool sample to see. We haven't done that yet. Maybe we're leaving that up to the community to get into, but I think that would be pretty cool.
Next question.
Yeah, you can do that.
Components that allow you to upload from various other contact sources.
It's all client-side, really. I mean, there are some good Air samples out there, but I think with regard to Ribbit, I think that would be a cool one to see. I guess we could do that, but I'm sure, maybe this afternoon during the 3 to 5 block, we can all work on that or something. That would be kind of cool. I think that would be very valuable. This example here, I think Wes alluded to earlier, is how we can actually store our contacts locally into a database. So it's the opposite of the sample we just said. I'm going to run this guy. And again, the Air apps we actually distribute independently of the code samples, but they're on that same page. If you go to that developer page, here's the code samples, Ribbit Code Solutions here, and then the 3 Air app samples that we have down, and we distribute those separately only so that they can inherit their own values, their own projects. So here we are, and if I go in and log in here, too bad I don't have the Ribbit SO sample tied to this app, otherwise I wouldn't have to be retyping this information. Logging in, and it's going to pull my contacts, and then essentially I can select a contact, and that one's already saved. As you can see, the item is grayed out. It's disabled, but this one isn't, so I can save that to a local DB, and it says record successfully added to local DB. The record was successfully stored. Going to the code, essentially Air can actually access SQLite. It creates a desktop instance of SQL and stores a file, which is SQLite compatible. And then Air has all the APIs that you can actually make SQL queries to a local database that the runtime installs for you and actually access information. So contacts, voicemail, these are all good examples. What this example is really set up for you to do is to do contacts, ultimately do voicemail. So you can download your voicemail through an Air app and then be on the plane, call up a voicemail and play it, and you can even type notes, or you can reply, you can record your own message. I don't know if you'd want to do that on the plane, but say you're somewhere without a good signal, you can actually record your reply, and then once you get back online, it'll send that back out to the person. So it's a pretty cool way of doing sort of online, offline content. Yeah?
What's unique to your contact information between the local and the server side of Ribbit? I want to add John Smith. I've got 5 John Smiths. How do I know he's a duplicate? How do I know he's not?
So the phone number, primarily, it would be distinct.
Check on that, or is that something I would have to look at to see if there's a...
Well, yeah, on your end. I mean, you can, we don't...
You create a unique ID for everyone.
Yeah, each contact is your own ID. We don't look at your contacts as you add them. That's all managed against your, and it's not specifically you personally, it would be a user of your application, right? So they would be maintaining their address book. Same thing with your phone. I mean, if you have 2 people with the same name, it's really based on the phone number. That acts as their distinct key, if you will, or the way you store that.